The following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
Hello and welcome to another edition of our program, CHW in Action. As always, CHW stands for Community Health Worker in Action because I am Rafael Calderon. I'm a community health worker, CHW, and I'm always in action to bring you, the community of Nashua, and all around information about how to live a healthy lifestyle. And as we always say, living a healthy lifestyle is not just about avoiding getting sick or treating a disease. It's about living a full, balanced life. And I'm always trying to bring you exciting guests into my program. So today I am honored to have my new friend Deborah with us. Let's say hello, Deborah. Deborah, how are you?
I'm doing well, Rafael. Thank you so much for having me on today. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm excited for you to be here because I met you through Lindy.
Yes.
And you've been on her TV show here.
I was, yes. Okay. A few weeks back we filmed the show, and so I'm nice and comfortable here. Excited to be talking tonight.
I'm glad to hear that. So now tell us who you are, tell us your full name, your business, tell us about you.
Sure. So I'm Deborah Hodiak-Knox, and I consider myself first and foremost a minister, spiritual teacher, and a life coach as well. And I love what you were talking about, the health and wellness piece, because I truly believe that life is all about balance. I wear many different hats. Okay, like I said, I consider myself a minister and spiritual teacher because it's really at the core of what I believe and what I do. Kind of redefining ministry, talking about spirituality. So many people have a hard time with religion or spirituality, or they feel like it's a divide.
True.
And the truth of the matter is that there's a common thread of just kindness, unconditional love, peace, harmony, the belief in something greater than ourselves, right?
Very nice.
So that's really at the core of who I am. In terms of some of the different hats I wear and different things that I do, so like I said, I do life coaching. I work with women a lot as well as men on empowerment. And I teach a lot about tapping into the power of your own intuition.
And how do you do that? How do you empower people to tap into that?
So, well, one way that I'm doing it actually is I'm hosting a workshop in Concord on December 1st and hosting one in Manchester on December 5th.
Nice.
So that's where we're beginning. It's just a free workshop, 90 minutes long, 7 p.m. at Morning Dew Cafe up in Concord.
Ooh, my favorite place.
I know. That's why I wanted to mention it.
All right.
I met Julie the same night that I met you.
Yes, at that mastermind meeting.
Exactly, in Manchester. And things have kind of just really opened up for me since then. Right around that time, I decided to sort of just make myself known to the community and just go a little bit bigger with what it is that I'm doing. So, when you talk about the power of your intuition, we all have this level of knowingness. And it's nothing that is really that far out of reach. Everybody has a gut feeling about things sometimes. You can just be leaving the house one day and say, oh, I wonder if I remembered my keys, or something that simple. You can come across little messages in the everyday world, maybe just finding a penny or finding that perfect parking spot opening up for you as you're driving somewhere and you're in a hurry. There's lots of coincidences that happen. And, really being able to pay attention to those and use them as kind of guides and messages as you move through your day is really key to living a balanced life, to living a healthy life, to being productive with your business.
Does that tie into the law of attraction?
A little bit, it does. It does. In terms of being aware of what it is that you want to be putting out into the world and what it is that you'd like to manifest. Just getting clarity around that is where it kind of ties in.
Interesting. And speaking about bringing things out, you're bringing out a 14-day. Tell me about that 14-day. I'm thinking of the event.
14-day turnaround.
Yes, please tell us all about that.
I would love to. Thank you for asking. So the 14-day turnaround is a project that really just came out of my own spiritual beliefs, my own desire to kind of spread love and to spread kindness. It's really a random acts of kindness initiative. And it was inspired by my mom. Actually started on the anniversary of her birthday. Her birthday is October 14th.
Okay.
She passed about 14 years ago unexpectedly. And it just kind of happened that it was the same day and year, and the number 14 was just kind of all in there. And so I sat with my guidance and my intuition to kind of get clarity around how I wanted to honor that. And so for me, I really want to inspire people. And what better way to inspire people than by spreading kindness?
Very nice.
You want to be able to do that and then encourage people to do that themselves, right?
Indeed.
So the 14-day turnaround program, you can actually go to my website, which is the 14dayturnaround.com, find out a little bit more information there. Essentially, you can sign up to receive a gift or a random act of kindness for yourself. Now, before I go on, a lot of people don't want to do that. They just want to spread kindness. And I believe in balance. Okay, I believe that it's important to also be receiving when you're a giving person.
Right.
So if anyone is thinking of spreading kindness, that's wonderful, but also know that you deserve it as well. I think it gives you that balance.
Very nice.
So if you want to sign up, you just go in there, you sign up, put your information in there, and then you'll receive a random act of kindness. And from that point, you have 14 days to pass the torch and to perform a random act of kindness for someone else.
I like that. And how is it going?
So far, so good. It's only been 2 months. Like I said, I started it on October 14th. And on November 14th, which was just, a week or so ago, I woke up in the morning feeling inspired. And I said, why do I feel so inspired? And then my daughter had kind of asked me, what day is today? And I said, today's the 14th. So there's that number again, right?
Interesting.
It's my new number, I think.
Deborah 14, that's your new name from now on.
Apparently. I'll take it, whatever works. But so I decided that on the 14th of each month that I'm going to do some type of global gift of healing. And so I actually did a reading, which is kind of like a card reading or a life balance kind of thing. I did it with my children. I did the video and I posted it on my Facebook page, which is just Deborah Hodiak-Knox. You can find that pretty easily. And there's a lot of inspiration there. I really feel like my purpose is to kind of inspire people and to help people get that balance in their life.
I can see that. I mean, you inspire me.
Thank
I
you.
told you when we met that day at the Mastermind Alliance, that energy there was so good. So you do have something.
Thank you.
Now, my question to you is, how did you get started in this? What motivated you to get started on becoming a guide?
Okay. So, just I think my own experience, strength, and hope. I grew up in an alcoholic family. My father was an alcoholic and found his recovery through AA, and he's been sober for a really long time now.
Good.
And I found my way through Al-Anon, Adult Children of Alcoholics. And so that was my first introduction to kind of a spiritually based program, which I found to work really well for me in my life. It brought a lot of balance to my life, and it was something that I needed. Because when you grow up in a situation that's out of balance or any type of dysfunction, which we can all point to some sort of it in our life, you really need to figure out why it is that you're here, what's your purpose, what makes your heart sing, what's your passion, and so that's why I got started in the spiritual work. I actually started my spiritual work with angelsteach.com. I learned all about my intuition there, became a master teacher with them, and I teach a 6-month course through them about how to really tune into those messages on a daily basis and really get in tune with, what is right for you.
Very nice.
Again, more often than not, when we deal with those things that we deal with in childhood or any kind of crises, we get torn. We want to be that peacemaker. We want to try and make sure everyone else is okay. which is a wonderful gift to have. But again, it goes back to that balance. Make sure that you're okay. Make sure that you're in tune with what it is that you want.
Right, because how can you give what you don't have inside for yourself?
Even as a mother, I run into that. You know, you need to make sure that your cup is full before you can, you know, give from that cup.
Interesting, interesting. Now, how does it work? Let's say that I know someone that is lost or needs help, and you could help them, and I introduce you to them. What would be the process?
So what I would like to do with people, I usually like to do an initial consult, and I try to figure out what it is that is going to be best for them. Like I said, I believe in balance, and I wear a lot of hats. So I have a lot of tools in my toolbox. I started off doing massage therapy. I do hypnosis work. Life coaching involves the spiritual teaching. It involves just doing a basic card reading. It can do emotional freedom technique, which is a tapping technique that helps us release emotions. So I have a lot of tools that I use, and I like to categorize them into the 3 categories of mind, body, and spirit.
Okay.
You know, so a lot of times when people come to me, it may be at that body level. They may just be experiencing a lot of tension. They don't really know how to relax. They don't really know what's wrong. They just know that they want to kind of feel better. So I sit down with people, and I really just do a nice, thorough, what I call an intake, but really it's just a conversation. You know, tell me what's going on. Tell me what it is that feels out of balance for you. And then from there, usually I'll end up doing some type of hypnosis work, which is very similar to guided meditation, just to get rid of that general anxiety feeling for people. And then again, sometimes it starts at that body level. You know, doing some massage work to relieve tension in the muscles, doing energy healing. I'm also Reiki certified. So I have a lot of these tools.
You do have a lot of hats.
I really do. And it kind of just depends on what's going on with the person.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So then tell me more about these workshops, because I'll take it that those workshops will give people an opportunity to work with you for you to help them achieve their goals.
Absolutely. So the
Okay.
workshop is really designed to just give people a taste of what it's like to tap into your intuition. And again, we'll talk a lot about, there's 4 different ways that the intuition works. There's kind of 4 different ways that you would receive guidance or messages. So that you see it visually, you may hear it, you may feel it in your body, or just kind of have a knowingness. So the workshop's going to touch upon all 4 of those. It's also going to include a nice little card reading for people, which is just a fun thing. When I say cards, I'm referring to like oracle cards or angel cards. They're just a tool that you use to kind of get information or guidance for people. To really tune into what's going on with someone. And they're a lot of fun to work with.
Interesting.
All based on, you know, love and positivity and, you know, really tuning into that guidance. So the workshops are going to touch upon the different ways that you connect to your intuition. I like to do some sharing with people because everyone has had the experience of a coincidence,
True.
which I don't really like to believe in coincidences. I feel like everything sort of happens for a reason.
Interesting.
And so, you know, the workshop's an introduction to that. And then from there, you know, I actually do monthly angel parties that, you know, you can attend one of those. I also am starting a 5-day course, 5-session course to dive a little bit deeper into the power of that intuition and, you know, what that means, really being able to use it.
What could be the ideal person to attend these workshops?
Anybody that wants to improve their life.
Okay.
Yep.
Interesting.
Anybody that feels like they're out of balance or they're just looking for answers.
Interesting. And what is your big vision for those workshops? Are you planning to stay within New Hampshire? Do you want to make it nationwide?
Oh, you know, I would love to grow. I mean, I have big dreams. We all do.
Tell us those dreams. Tell us.
Yeah, well, getting started in New Hampshire is fantastic. I do a lot of things virtually. So through Angels Teach, I already teach across the globe. I had a one-on-one, tutoring kind of condensed version of our 6-month course, which is the Angel Communication Master's course. I did that over the summer with a woman in Australia, and she was fantastic, just so much fun to work with. And
Very cool.
all of those people that take those classes are moving on to do really great things. So just like the 14-day turnaround program, I want to inspire people to inspire people.
Interesting. So you're passing on your energy.
It's kind of like a pebble in the pond effect, you know, like what I want to be that pebble that has the ripple effect, and I want to see everybody else get excited too, and then find out what makes their heart sing, and then bring that out into the world, because we need to be that change that we want to see in the world.
I agree.
There's so many things that are happening that people aren't happy about, or there's chaos, or there's all kinds of stuff going on, and really it starts here. It starts with you.
See, I'm glad you said that because I agree with that. I mean, we have to be centered within ourselves. We have to be at one and in control and have a balanced life to the best of our abilities before we can go out and do anything else.
Absolutely.
So I agree with everything that you do. Okay.
you.
So now we have the 14-day turnaround. We have the workshops. What is next? Do we have a wellness center? I mean, what's
You know, it's funny you should mention that because I actually have this vision, you know, talking about the more globalized vision or the bigger vision. A little bit about my background. When I grew up, I always wanted to open a flower shop, and I always wanted to have like a little tea shop in there. And so I actually did that. When my mom passed away 14 years ago, it was one of those wake-up times in life because it was not expected. She had a heart attack.
wow?
And you know, it kind of wakes you up. You're like, okay, why am I here? What am I doing? You know, what have I always wanted to do that I'm not doing? And even though at the time I was involved in some nonprofit work and I was doing things that were meaningful, there was just something missing for me. And what was missing for me was this piece of creativity piece, right? So I actually owned and opened 2 different flower shops. The first one that I did, I actually had a little area inside the greenhouse where there was tea, and it was kind of a little community gathering space. And you know, I really envision being able to do that again in the future and having it be more open for the different, you know, area businesses and entrepreneurs to kind of run their workshops and spread their messages too.
Very nice.
So I would love to have that happen, yes.
You know that one of my goals is to start a Latin American center where I can have small businesses come in
I do,
and share what they do with the community.
yes,
And my goal is to start in Nashua because I love Nashua. But then I do want to go national
yes.
because, like you said, there's a lot of stuff going on out there. A lot of sad people, depressed people. And I wish I could send that message. Maybe I'll use you to send that message.
Maybe.
Okay, that hey, if you just try to connect yourself with yourself, go back to where you came from,
Yeah.
you might feel better and you might be able to do something about these situations.
Right. And as much as I love the live feel and the local feel, you know, really tapping into the endless possibilities of the virtual world
Yes.
is also an amazing thing. Like I said, being able to connect with that woman in Australia. You know, the work that I do through Angels Teach is where I was ordained as a minister. Divine Order of the Sacred Rose is actually a virtual church that was just very recently established. I'm on the board of directors for that. And what's so beautiful about that is you talk about spreading the message. And if you have a virtual organization that you're involved with, you know, I know people in Minnesota, in California, in Australia, in London. There's people that are involved with that community from all over. So yeah, when you start to think about the bigger picture, you know, you just kind of make that phone call and make that connection and say, hey, let's do something together. Let's get your community involved.
And you expand.
And you expand.
How does that work? A virtual ministry. Is that like going to church on the internet? I mean, how?
It kind of is. So
Okay.
this is just getting started.
Okay.
I am actually the minister. I'm considered the head of church. I was just appointed that about a few weeks ago, which still kind of makes me a little bit giddy because it feels really exciting to me. There's a lot of possibility.
Okay.
Currently, we just offer Sunday morning grace is what we call it. It's our grace call. We do it Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. and we are going public with that in February. So right now it's just exclusively for the Angels Teach community, which I would love to also promote, you know, angelsteach.com. You know, it's just a like-minded community, and it's a wonderful place where you get inspiration, love, learn about your intuition. You know, I'm definitely on there as well. But yeah, so the plan is to go a little bit more public with those sermons. We also do a prayer circle once a month.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, okay, so what drove you to join that church per se, as opposed to, let's say, a local physical church?
So, I mean, I would love to establish a local physical church eventually. I think that would be fantastic. And I think, you know, part of my mission is to sort of redefine ministry and redefine spirituality. So talking about that community center, a lot of what churches do is very similar to that. So I have a feeling that that brick and mortar building that's going to come someday absolutely is going to basically be that church and that place that we're talking about where people can come together in community.
Very nice.
Yeah.
When I get my center, you can start up mine.
Absolutely.
And then you can grow into yours.
You know that I would love to help
See?
you.
See? I like that.
Yes.
I want to help you. So tell me more about what you do so that people know, so that they know how cool you are and interesting.
How they know how cool and interesting I am.
Yes.
Well, so I started doing the hypnosis work. So that's one of the tools that I use. And I've been doing that a lot this past year. New Hampshire Hypnosis out of Bedford. David Barron was the gentleman who started that business, and he's moved on to Oregon.
Okay.
He got married, met a beautiful woman, went out and kind of ran away.
Lucky him.
And exactly. And so I took over his clients. And what I found is that people are always looking for something. And whatever, route that feels right for them, they're going to call wherever they think they can get help. So what happens is people will call the hypnosis center and they want to deal with anxiety. So we can do some hypnosis work around anxiety, which will absolutely help. But the one thing I tell people, and I caution most people about, is that there are no quick fixes. It's not just going to be, you can't take a pill, or you can't, just do one hypnosis session and completely feel better.
Wait. You can't hypnotize me to be a perfect person forever? I mean, I thought that's how it worked.
When we're perfect, we're done, and I'm not done yet. I don't know about you.
Okay.
But I mean, honestly, I shouldn't, there are certain things that people do for hypnosis. To quit smoking, that's a little different. That's pretty cut and dry. You come in, we do the session, you leave a non-smoker. It's a fantastic thing. Other issues, though, dealing with sort of life problems and general anxiety, and even people who come for smoking or weight loss, what's underneath that? That's what we want to get to. What's underneath it? Why is it that your subconscious mind feels that it can't let go of this habit? What is it kind of protecting you from? And so that's been a nice, funnel, if you will, for lack of a better word, having the hypnosis clients come in and just really doing that nice consultation. So it's like a 90-minute consultation to really find out what's going on. And I customize everything to every individual person.
Nice.
Like I said, sometimes people come in and we end up doing more body work. Sometimes people come in and we do more coaching work.
Interesting.
Sometimes people just want to learn more about their intuition.
Very, very interesting.
Yeah.
And you're based out of Manchester,
I
but
am
you
based out of Manchester.
You do have some history in Nashua. You went to school in Nashua?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
My undergraduate work was at Rivier College. Yeah,
Interesting.
because I grew up in Lowell, Massachusetts, and my
Really?
dad still lives there.
Very nice.
So Nashua's kind of right in the middle of my my home foundation grounds and my current working space, and I love Nashua. It's a great community.
Would you plan to do a workshop in Nashua? Because I'm telling you, Nashua is an amazing city.
I would love to do a workshop in Nashua. Do you have a location for me?
I do have a location for you. I actually do.
Sure.
I have an office on 62 West Hollis.
Yes.
And we're working on cleaning out space. But that is just the beginning of the Latin American Center that I'm creating. And I'm not creating it alone. When I first met you, I was doing all these kinds of things.
Yep.
I attracted the work of a former student of mine. Her name is Zuleika Cruz.
Wonderful.
And she's helping me create the center. So we basically have it, but it's a small office. And then we have space that we can clear out. The idea is to have a full center.
Yes.
So we can have community activities. And your church can start from there.
Absolutely. I would love to do a workshop there. Like I said, they're really fun, and there's no cost to attend the workshop. It's just to get an idea.
Oh, see, I meant to ask you that, what the cost would be.
So for this particular workshop that I'm doing on December 1st and December 5th, and the one I'll be doing with you, it's really just an introduction, and there's no charge for that.
Interesting. So I could go in if I'm broken, and I can get fixed at no cost.
You may be able to do that, absolutely. Obviously, if you want to do more coaching work with me, that's not free. But the workshops are free. We still have to put food on the table, right?
I keep doing this because the lies are getting to me. But this is so much fun, okay? Okay, so the workshops are going to be fun, the 14-day turnaround.
Yes.
When are we having another get-together for the Mastermind Alliance?
I don't know. We should plan that. Absolutely.
We should plan that.
We should.
Because I haven't seen Lindy in a while. I saw Julie today.
Did you?
I went there for lunch. I love those omelets.
Yes, I know. I see that all the time on Facebook.
So I have a vision of you filling out that whole place. Okay?
Well, I've had a lot of interest in that. And again, that one is up in Concord, Morning Dew Cafe. It's December 1st from 7 to 8:30 p.m. And again, it's completely free, and it's just people who are interested in how they can really learn more about their intuition.
How can I help you to make all this happen? And
Just
to
spread the
expand
word.
and to grow?
Spread the word for me, Let's and I know that we have a common goal of helping people in terms of coaching and really getting them to feel balanced again. So I mean, I think we can. I love the fact that the different entrepreneurs that we meet, like in this mastermind group, there's no competition here. Everyone is out on that same mission, and so we just want to collaborate and work together and help and reach as many people as we can.
Yeah, because we all want the same thing because we all come from the same place.
Yeah.
There's no room for competition because we all want to help each other out. And people that need the services that we offer, they'll have different needs that we can help in different areas. So we don't have to, one thing that I loved about that meeting is that we were all trying to see how can we help each other.
Right.
You see, and that's what I want to see more of.
Yes, I agree. And what's happened for me personally, that was one of my first kind of meetings that I said, all right, I'm ready to kind of come out of hiding, if you will. I had 2 little kids that I've been raising and kind of on my own for a while here, and it's just time to start to come out. So I sort of came out at that meeting, and I'm doing this with you. You and I did a video together. We're doing some collaborative work. I worked with Lindy a couple different times on her show. We're doing the spiritual workshop at Julie's place. And then a few other people that were there I've also collaborated with. So, and it was a small group, but it was a really productive evening. So there's so much benefit in connection and community. I mean, isn't that part of the theme here?
That's the whole theme. That's the whole theme. So we're coming close to the end of the program. I want to make sure that I cover everything that is to be known about you.
Yes. So I would suggest a great place to begin with me and my services to go to the 14dayturnaround.com. Go ahead and sign up for that random act of kindness, and then you're going to receive a beautiful gift, and that gift is unique to each individual person. I use my own intuition to decide who gets what, okay? And then you can start by helping to spread the word. And once you get to that site, it's just a simple site. You sign up. There's a link to my other website there that talks all about my services, my coaching fees, the massage therapy, all that good stuff, which mostly takes place in Manchester out of my home office. I have a beautiful space there. Nice. Very welcoming. I'm also doing a couple of upcoming workshops more on the massage side. I have a Mommy and Me Spa Day that's coming up on December 10th.
Nice.
And then I'm also doing a couples workshop where I'm actually teaching couples how to give each other a professional back massage, which is really valuable information. And that's a steal. That's $95. That's like a really great deal. So that's all that information is on my website, which you can connect to from the 14-day turnaround.
And what is your website?
So it's actually dhklmt.massagetherapy.com. But again, easier to remember to go to the 14-day turnaround and just link from there.
Beautiful. Deborah, it has been a pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Rafael.
You have to come back.
I will, absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for being with us. As you can see, this lady is super cool, super amazing, super spiritual. And what we are talking about, we are collaborating in a way to bring forth this message. If we work together, we can get more done. If we have a healthy community, not just physically healthy, but also emotionally and spiritually healthy, it will be good for everybody. It will be a happy, prosperous community. Okay? And that's what we promote here. We promote happiness. The work of a CHW, not to say just my work, because there's many CHWs, is to connect communities with health, a healthy lifestyle. And that, as I mentioned earlier, is a holistic approach. And with that, I thank you for your time. I truly appreciate it. May God bless you. Your CHW, Rafael Calderon.
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.